I have the pleasure of announcing a new product called Nume. It's the world's first AI-powered CFO. This was announced just before the Christmas period and is built across a multi-agent system using different agents to do different parts of the CFO role. So there's something for bookkeeping, there's something for doing management accounts, something for the month-end process, etc. And they've already got 100 companies signed up to the product. What's really interesting for me, at least on this, is what they've managed to build effectively is this orchestration layer over the top. You could have an agent that does a particular process and another agent that does another process. You might have an agent for doing some bookkeeping, bank reconciliation, etc. You might have another one that does something around, say, accruals. But the challenge is, how do you get those coordinated? In the same way, I guess, is like, how would you coordinate some staff? Doing that from a technological point of view is challenging. So building this layer over the top to facilitate that is interesting. They will connect into QuickBooks or Xero. So very interesting to see how this now works, given the Xero changes on the API. It may already fail at the start, but it's available from free all the way up to premium tier of $99 a month. Potential big opportunity, but also big challenges for that as a product going forward.
Yeah, it doesn't sound that expensive, so it doesn't sound premium. But if the highest tier is $99 a month, it feels cheap, which I'm not sure if that instills confidence in me.
Well, my counterpoint to that would be, why should it be that expensive? The whole purpose of technology is it brings the cost and the investment cost of broader process automation down. That's the economy of scale thing, isn't it? We know that as technologies advance and improve, the cost of acquisition drops over time. The same with any technological change. I would say $99 a month, maybe it is underpriced, but maybe that's their way of trying to get people on board. But I think that's the world we're going to be looking at.
What is it actually doing, though? Let's break it down, because this is calling on elements of the CFO's role. What is it that it's saying? I'm doing a better job of running this like a financial controller who reports to the CFO, or am I taking on elements of the CFO's role?
There's a mixture of things that it does. The first one is you can ask questions of your data, which isn't new, do this. But what it then allows you to connect that to things like Slack, so you can have notifications around trigger points. It also does some reporting, so there's elements of automatic reporting. Again, not necessarily new, but what you can then start to add on to, though, is that you can start to get schedule updates. You can start to do more of the automation, reconciliation, and some of the actual preparation work. They're connecting not just into your core accounting system like Xero QuickBooks, but also pulling that bank feed data in as the third party to verify that's reliable and working effectively. So you might be able to get some better insights and be able to do more stuff with that. But yeah, I would say, though, I think your questions are reasonable. Indeed, what they're really doing is just aggregating a bunch of stuff that's on the market into one singular platform. Are they doing anything groundbreaking? No. Would I look at that product at the moment and say it can replace a CFO? Absolutely not. But I guess if you're a small scaling business who doesn't want to invest and buy your CFO,
you don't have the money to have a CFO.
then
why not?
This may be the way to do it.
That's what I was going to say. If you're an accounting firm, would the draw be you've got small clients that can't afford a CFO, but they still want to manage some of that information themselves? They want to know things like, oh, your receivables aren't being paid on time, or some sort of insight that the CFO would have delivered. Scale Up Finance was a company that was the CFOs as a service. That's what they did. And there was 40 CFOs that were embedded across like 500 different organizations. Those guys who started that Scale Up Finance business have then started this technology, this app. So they're really talking from their own, okay, this is how we worked across these different businesses in a fractional or maybe a portfolio way. But it's quite good if you're an accounting firm that maybe has got smaller businesses or mid-sized businesses that don't have the money to recruit a full-time CFO. Wouldn't you say that's a nice bridge?
I think it is a nice bridge, but if you're an accounting practice that is already doing some of this, whether it's low-level advisory, CFO light, you've probably already got the tools available. You can do a lot of the reporting in things like Fathom, for example, and you can have scheduled reporting. You can do some of the notifications and triggers with either the pre-existing products or products like Chaser if you're worried about your receivables and managing those effectively. So I suspect that a lot of accounting firms will probably have a technology stack which will address some or all of these things. They might not have all of it. And like I say, they might not have jumped straight into things like Mimo to be able to do more of this month-end processing. But I would say at the moment, Numo probably isn't leaning in as much into that as it is. So for me, this is a direct-to-market product, not a product for accountants. And I would say that's probably where they're going to get success is direct-to-market. But those direct-to-market clients could probably already get some of this if they knew what the marketplace looked like. But I guess this is the advantage of a platform because you're not having to go looking for 4 or 5 solutions. You just got one solution that you bolt on.